All right, welcome everyone. This is Revenue Roadmap, where we talk about driving revenue and increasing profits for local businesses. I'm Anthony Karls, president of Rocket Clicks, and today I'm with Mr. Casey Shea. He is one of our marketing strategists here at Rocket Clicks. He's also one of our top SEOs and probably our resident expert at AI. So, like you're all getting a gift today. He's going to be giving you guys some wisdom. But before we get into that, I always drop a little fun question at the beginning that hopefully adds a little value. And I don't tell her if you've ever wondered, do they know what questions come in? They have no clue. I love to see like how stressed they might be. So Casey's like, "What the?"
I'm sweating already.
All right, Casey. What habits or routines do you follow to stay on top of your game in life?
Ooh, and life. This is gonna be an easy one just because I pound this into everybody.
I figure this is easy
Yeah.
stuff. A little stress, but it's like this is
So like
fun.
today, everybody is really big into health. Like healthy body, working out your muscles. Like so you can have a prolonged happy life and whatnot. But a lot of people they neglect the like one of your biggest muscles, which is your brain. Continuously feeding it like with whatever it is, challenges, problems, books. Like you don't just need to like cram in books all the times, but you always have to have some kind of challenge. I always look at we're just primitive monkeys walking around, and it's like, what have we always done? Like we've always faced challenges
Yeah.
in order to get to where we're at, so we always have to continue to give ourselves challenge besides what we deal with at work.
Nice. Love it. Love it, love it. Yeah, there's a great book I recently just read called Peak, and talk a lot about that actually. How
Yeah.
you can build more myelin and build bigger parts of your brain by just like continuing to get it out of homeostasis and learning new things. It's good. Love that.
Helps with anxiety too,
Yeah,
strangely enough.
awesome. All right, so we're going to be talking about SEO today. We're going to be talking about why is SEO valuable. So, Casey, super high level. Why should I do SEO? Why is it valuable? How should I think about its value? Where should I start?
Ooh, high level, the biggest reason is because SEO is going to be evergreen. It's something that you nourish, you put in enough love into it, and it's going to last a long time. And it gets to that point where then it's just like maintaining. The other reason is because the digital landscape, it's constantly changing. And not only is the digital landscape changing, so are the new generations. So it's like this new generation X is just making me feel older and older every day, but they also search for things differently.
Yeah,
They look for things differently. They're going to click on things differently. So the way we market today, it's like drastically different than the way that we marketed 10 years ago, even.
yeah,
So it's just always changing, and it's doing it fast.
nice. So how should we think about its value? So there's four things we want to talk about today. So let's do an overview of those, and then let's talk a little bit about each one of those. So what makes SEO valuable?
Biggest thing that's gonna initially make it is it's got a fixed cost. There isn't going to be any surprises. Something that a lot of times that you run into with running paid ads and things like that is like 1 month you could be spending $1,000, and then the next month it could double because of the competition, keyword targeting, changes in the landscape, whatever it may be. Where with SEO, it's like it's a constant investment. You look at it like you're investing in the stocks. It's a yeah. The longer you let it go, the bigger return that you're going to get from it.
Yeah, and it's a compounding effect too. Like not only is it a fixed cost, but like I'm like adding every month. I'm adding to it. It's not like I'm spending a new $5,000 if that's where I'm starting. And if I stop spending that $5,000, like all of it goes away. In paid media, if you turn the ads off, guess what? The ads go off. If
Everything
on
stops.
the SEO, like if a budget gets tight, why one of the reasons SEO is so valuable is A, it's a fixed cost, but B, it's an investment. SEO is very much an investment, and that fixed cost is a compounding annuity for you as you really invest it. And if you do it well, it can be a great engine for you. So yeah, I would totally agree on the fixed cost piece. So what the next point we teach our team is how we think about talking with small businesses as it pertains to when to do this. So like, what's the right time to start SEO?
SEO is going to be the very first thing that you're going to need to implement onto your website, just because this is your foundation. If you have a whole bunch of awesome paid ads that you're just dumping a whole bunch of money into, and a user clicks on that, spends that money, and comes to your site, and it's just not what they were looking for, then it's your leads are not going to be as high of quality. They're going to be less likely to convert, and you're just going to be hemorrhaging money more than anything else. So you have to have that good footing to start with.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's a great, like you said, if your first strategy is paid ads and it's not working, um, it's really hard to continue to get business to come, because paid ads can get very expensive if the strategy isn't well, and if something changes in the marketplace, you got to adapt. And if you don't have the baseline of an organic strategy, that's really the support system underneath. Like it can be tough trails. We've seen that with a lot of businesses and clients that we work with to start.
Well, and the other aspect of it too is like kind of going into one of the other steps that we always focus on is that trust element.
Mm-hmm.
So, touching on that newer generation, like even my daughter, she'll tell me, she scrolls past all of the ads. She's like, I don't want to click on any of them,
Yeah,
and then she starts looking for what's familiar, what's popping up.
yeah,
If you're not popping up after those ads, then people are just going to think that you're some big corporate, business that's just dumping all kinds of money to stay at the top, versus someone who is actually going to like give you a nice quality product or service.
yeah. The what are like how do you how what's a good way to think about that? So high ranking sites, why are they why are they perceived more trustworthy? What's the psychology there?
Um, the biggest reason is going to be, if you're showing up at the top, Google understands you to be solving an issue, that you're going to have a good experience, a good user experience. People are satisfied with the outcome that they have after visiting your site, and it also aligns with what it is that you're searching for to begin with. Whereas with a paid ad, it could be just targeting a specific word or something like that. So it's like it's less technical as far as like how it's evaluated and presented to the user when they find it. And then it comes down to familiarity. The more you're popping up not as an ad, the more comfortable people are going to be with you. They're going to think, you're the popular kid, they want to hang out with you.
Yeah, I mean, another good way to think about it is Google conditions us to through all of the data that they have. Typically, when you're visiting those top organic search results, um, you're getting conditioned to believe those are going to solve your problem, and the reason you're getting conditioned to believe that is they actually do. That's why they have those spots. Um, so inherently, like as we've played with Google more and more, like credibility and trust is just something that happens, because like that's what Google's taught us, and all of their data suggests it's true. That's why they have 90% of the search market share, and they're going through something every company doesn't really ever want to get into, which is they've now created a monopoly because they're so good at what they do, and good at manipulating search results and people. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, they've been great at what they've done. And they can kind of teach us how to do things without our knowledge. Uh, what about visibility? Like, how does SEO help a local business increase their visibility?
Oh man. Huh. Visibility it's everywhere. So just imagine like you've got this beautiful website, you put in all this work, but it's not aligned with the way that Google perceives it. Like say that Google, they can't crawl it. They can't understand what your website is about.
Yeah,
We run across businesses like this all the time. The way that it's structured, it can't understand what it is that they're selling. So basically you just invested in this big giant billboard,
yeah,
and you just shoved it in an alley, and then you're expecting people to find it. And every once in a while you get a drifter that goes down the alley, and then it's like, all right, we got one lead, guys, this
yeah,
is awesome. So that's the biggest aspect, is like making sure that people can actually see what it is that you're doing,
yeah,
and then presenting it to them at the correct time as well.
yeah. I think that's something that's super fascinating. There's often we'll run into an entrepreneur who just had their website redone and they're wondering why it's not working. Building a website is very different than SEOing a website. It's like they are interrelated, but one is not the other. In both instances, like an SEO person might know how to code things, but they're not necessarily a web developer. Also, a person that builds websites may know some things about SEO, but they're very likely not very good at SEO because that's not what they study and focus on. They're two very different things. I think that's like an interesting nuance in our conversation that I just wanted to highlight because you said a couple times. You said almost that a couple times, and I just wanted to like really put a point on it because it's very interesting. I think
Yeah.
literally we just ran across this with a client that this is their exact story. Hey, we just had this website built, and like we're not getting any leads. Yep, that's what we should expect. Did you do anything to SEO the website? No. What does that mean? That's your problem.
Yeah. Well, it's like I always look at SEO, we're the bridge between the robots and the people.
Yeah.
It's like we interpret emotions to the robots and, vice versa.
Yeah.
Without that element, you're on page 9 where you're never going to be found.
Yeah. So yeah, SEO is super valuable. I think it's a complicated area because it intertwines with a lot of different things. You mentioned UI UX, you mentioned building websites. A lot of times SEO is also confused with copywriting and content marketing. Great content marketing parts of it are definitely part of SEO, but it starts from like all the way at the top of the 5 stages of awareness of unaware. But it also goes through every single part of the one to many journey that the client will experience, all the way through the end of their service with a potential business, right? So that's an exit survey. That's a would you review a survey? It's a here's how we're continuing to operate in the market. And like not all parts of that content are you going to SEO, nor would you want to, because it doesn't make any sense. Uh,
No.
so like SEO can get very complicated and convoluted.
Mhm.
Like keeping it segmented and its proper understanding of like how do we get you visibility in search engines,
Mhm.
and how do we build that annuity so that our business can grow, I think is very valuable. It's super interesting when a business owner really grasps that.
Mhm.
It's a very powerful asset.
Well, even nowadays, like I touched on earlier, it's changing so quickly that it's not even targeting search engines anymore.
Right.
It's not search engine optimization; it's search everywhere
Yeah.
optimization. So we are looking at different aspects of your business and trying to figure out how we can present that visibility to AI,
Yeah.
because AI is going to operate entirely different than how Google is going to search for things.
Exactly.
So it's like having that understanding where you got this whole generation, they're not even using Google anymore. They're just going on ChatGPT. Like how are you going to show up for that and capture that
Right.
audience? That's where SEO steps in.
That's awesome. Appreciate it, Casey. Anything else to share before we wrap up about the value of SEO?
Nope, it's just my heart and joy. It's that everlasting. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, and it's that foundational piece that I feel is missing in a lot of companies.
Awesome. Appreciate it, sir. Look forward to
Yeah.
talking next time. Next time when we meet, we are going to be talking about all of the components of SEO at a super high level. So technical on page, different parts of content off page. So we're going to get into some more meaty stuff next time we meet. So I look forward to that. Appreciate you, sir.
Sweet. Thank you.